Greetings everyone and welcome to Soter Academy. That's lesson number 2. Stop counting weight and start counting time. Now today we are going to talk muscle language. What do you mean by that? Is that the muscle, they cannot read the weights on the plates, they cannot read the weights on the dumbbell, 10, 20 or 40 kilos. What language they speak is time under tension. Now simply moving the weight from point A to point B without adding that time under tension, then we are not actually doing any work. We are not contracting the muscle correctly and we are not triggering hypertrophy in order to grow the muscle. Now the ego trap. If you walk into any commercial gym, what you see most often is people using the momentum, or they are using the gravity for the weights. Let's say if it's a bench press with a bar on top, if they are not using the time under tension, if they're dropping just weight straight down, they're using the gravity, then they can push with their chest just to bounce back up, and then they're holding. Actually, they're using the skeletal structure in order to hold the weight up. So this is wrong. They are not using the muscles, right? So they're using the skeletal structure, the ligaments, and this is how actually you can injure yourself without controlling the weight. So maybe it's good to write down this, is if you do not control the weight controls you. Now, time under tension protocol. What is that? That is the 2 to 3 seconds down. That's the eccentric movement of the muscle. Basically, you are fighting the gravity the entire way from up to down. So you're controlling the weight. This way, you're tearing up the muscle fibers and triggering hypertrophy. Now then, you can do a 1 second pause and then explode back up, and then 1 second hard squeeze. That's when the muscle tension is the most. That's the concentric. Now, a standard set of 10 repetitions, if you're doing that between 40 to 60 seconds, that's great. But if you're performing 10 repetitions and you're finishing those 10 repetitions for 15 seconds, that's wrong. So you're just doing cardio with heavy iron. So redefining failure. Now, what the people think that failure is that, oh, I cannot lift that weight. That means that's a failure. Well, that's more of an exhaustion than a failure of the muscle. So what is failure of the muscle is if the muscle refuses to lift with that strict tempo that you set. Let's say if you're dropping the weight for 1 second and you can still lift it up and then dropping with 1 second, and the right tempo is 2 to 3 seconds, then that's a failure. If you're doing this 1 second thing, then you should stop and you write this down, how many reps you've done, so you can continue on from next time. You don't need to actually exhaust the muscle further because the muscle failure is achieved. So what is the conclusion? The conclusion is, if you're not doing it with the correct tempo, let's fix that, put that 2 to 3 seconds eccentric, drop the weight if needed to, and then you'll see that different pump. And that's been it for today's video. Next week we're going to discuss why is this 2 to 3 seconds and not more, why not 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or the whole day, why we're not doing that. We're going to discuss this next time. Stay tuned. Let's evolve, guys. Cheers.